one in full effect now after earlier technical difficulties. That was interesting indeed, wasn't it? Let's go ahead and hop across Miramar for the first time. You're going to see 6 different games this evening. First 3 on Miramar, next 3 on Erangel. We have a slightly northern skewed 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock plane path to begin with. The Snow Guard Dragons and Ghetto Gang are both in El Pozo. And Minas Generales has got Castanis more or less hot dropping with the Sleep Dodgers. Okay, we've got 2 different fights going on to begin with. We're going to have to seriously test our observing skills here. Castanis getting down very, very low to begin with BP. Nordskiff going down earlier on. Mossick needs to get the return frag onto BP, but he's got help now from behind. Not going to happen, even though the flash, not the flashbang, even though the shotgun was there. Senka Pow Pow is going to be able to get, though, the trade, and he should be able to revive BP as well, meaning Castanis will continue to survive with all 4 players alive. In the meantime, the Snow God Dragons and Ghetto Gang, what's going on there? Not a lot. We've got, well, actually, Plotny is the coach, so we don't mind about that. So that's all good. Okay. No big deal. Doesn't look like they're fighting just yet, but we'll keep an eye on Zubila, that is for sure, because he looks like he's relatively close to Hoya. In fact, maybe we'll just stick around here for a minute or so to see exactly what's going on here. April has a very good high ground position on top of a big block. And Hoya's actually been spotted out in the open. Easy point there for Ghetto Gang. Really good communication between the teammates, though. Appreciate that. And Zubila will indeed get the first flush in this fight. I'm glad we actually stayed with that. In the meantime, the Snow Guard Dragons, Nordskiff and Mozic both down. Sorry, that's the Sleep Dodgers even. Snow Guard Dragons are on the other side. Senka Pow Pow and BP both still up, as you guys can see. So Castanis there, keeping all 4 of their team members alive. They're getting 2 points to begin with. Looks like they're about to get the loot that they want out of this arrangement. And any cue from the Sleep Dodgers very far out Minas Generales as well. So we've got someone asking, on the leaderboard, we appear to have Northern Lights, but in-game we've got Twisted Minds. They are Twisted Minds. There's no big sensational PUBG news here. They are Twisted Minds. There you can see them in-game as well. The last conversation I had with Bertulin's guys was half an hour ago, okay? So don't worry, everything is fine. If you see Northern Lights on the leaderboards, that is Twisted Minds. Do not read into that any more than otherwise. So we've got Bertulin's, Perfectix, Klim, and Lou playing here for Twisted Minds. Looking pretty chill and collapsing onto Power Grid because circle number 1, relatively central, centering roughly east of Power Grid and Picado. Nothing to write home about. Team Anime is actually Otto Mix. And you can see there is a player here called ES Test PLH02. Very sexy account name. This is, in fact, the wonderful Fainotto, who is also hosting today's Pro Scrims. So if you're wondering why the name's a bit weird, that is the account that they use to host on the esports server to allow all of these teams to participate in the Pro Scrims. And this is indeed Fainotto. I will be... If you ever hear me say Fainotto, that's because that's who I'm talking about. Castanis now. Moving away, deciding not to try and get the last 2 remaining members of their opposition to begin with. Although I have to say, the Sleep Dodgers are properly giving this a go. NEQ looking for any excuse to try and get a bit more damage onto Castanis as a parting gift. I have to say, those SLR shots are quite close from lighted. I'm a little surprised nothing's hit yet. Just as I say that, 27 damage done. Just reminding him that yes, we are still here. Yes, we are still happy to trade shots. But generally speaking, these guys should be able to move out easy peasy. These guys, on the other hand, not so sure. Zereth onto Zubila, returning the favor from earlier. That means the Snow Guard Dragons are now even, I think. So 3 of them are alive. How many members of Ghetto Gang? Also 3. So the score has been evened out, and they're very, very close to each other inside El Pozo right now. Oliver taking some shots, but I think the Snowguard Dragons have someone else in the building. They do. So Zerath has been given information that someone else is above him. Hallow is going to be able to essentially tell him when Oliver stops peeking in that direction, and he might actually come downstairs and grabs it. Oh, never mind. Hallow gets head... Wow, that's a disgusting headshot. Is this going to force Zerath to do something? I don't know. Doesn't look like they're going for the quick res by any means. Oh, Vixen waiting to see if we had Oliver come out. Zerath does get April as the rest of Ghetto Gang now collapsing on the position. I think advantage Ghetto Gang in this position. Double barrel shotgun, and Blazor seems to agree with me as well. Hollow is knocked there. There's only one member of the Snowguard Dragons left. April is still knocked for the Ghetto Gang. Vixen's location has been made available. Hallow still knocked. Ghetto Gang back up to 3. Blazor and April will now be looking for Vixen. On the far side of the motel now. Double barrel shotgun as they continue to move in. Flashbang as Oliver comes down. Blazor in pursuit now. Vixen spotting Oliver and getting the knock. Can we get the second? Blazor not needed. April manages to get the headshot from the M4A1, if I recall correctly. And that's Ghetto Gang surviving with 3 and 4 kills against the Snowguard Dragons. Who are the first... who are the first team out? But hang on a second. Hold the phone. Calm down, guys. Calm down. That's heroic. Having a little bit of a look. Jeez, guys. Relax, relax. That's T-Bone being opportunistic as hell. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. That could have been so much messier. But now we are all good. Near Minas Generalis, we've got Pacific Esports moving in. Iron Deep has spotted Panthanaikos, aka Pow. Aimfrost going to be parking up that UAZ relatively nearby. I say that's near Minas Generalis. Not really. I tell a lie when I said that. Graveyard. So things looking pretty relaxed here to begin with after that crazy El Pozo drop and the Minas Generalis disagreement, which actually is still there because the Sleep Dodgers have survived with 2 players left alive, so they didn't battle that out to the death. Here is Mert from Digital Athletics. They hear, I think, the vehicles of Solo in the distance. Don't necessarily feel like they need to do anything about it just yet. They're off to the west of Picardo. Happy to play this split. Code Marco and Iro are south. So they're waiting to see what Zone 2 holds. Solo, I suspect, will find out that someone is here shortly if Bombilovo goes anywhere closer. But no, he's actually going to go towards the south side of Picardo instead. Quizzy is there for the woo. But he will join the rest of his team. Creel, interestingly, going near Boxing Ring on the north side of Picardo. No one actually shooting him just yet. Oh, no. Wait, what's going on here? I have questions. Never mind. I don't think I'm going to get answers, am I? Zone 2 has popped just north of Power Grid. Twisted Minds are going to be very happy about that. They're basically going to be playing tower defense here. Let's not lie. They will be pretty chill. Heroic appear to be moving in very, very close to where some of the nuclear penguins are. Oh, and a Scooby with the bolt. He spots Jeems. Jeems with a Mini 14 in reply. I don't think there's an option for the Penguins to leave here. Bogart essentially has to defend his position. They're not going to let him drive away for free, are they? T-Bone holding the anchor position is getting a couple of good shots off on the Nuclear Penguins this time around. Looking solid. The rest of Heroic now moving in. I think Heroic had a bigger advantage before compared to now because the Penguins have moved in and said we're happy to defend. So the question for me is what Heroic do with this information. The Nuclear Penguins are clearly not budging from this position. Heroic have also heard additional vehicles coming in. Are they going to bail? Looks like they might. Corexi doesn't need to pick up Beamy. He's on a bike. Okay, Heroic are bailing. I think this is the right choice. This could have been avoided with a bit more scouting to begin with, but to be fair, Noel and Bogart weren't exactly making a lot of noise. Sorry, Bogart and Scooby. But I like that they've now collapsed in away from this fight. Solo and Twisted Minds are going for it. Now, Solo know that Twisted Minds are in and around Power Grid, so this is a very interesting power dynamic. Looking forward to seeing what happens here. Creel inside the warehouse. Batulins is knocked on the other end of it, but Klim is very close and should be able to get the revive, assuming they win this fight. Two members, unfortunately, of Solo pushing in against Klim. He's flashed to hell and back. Does manage to get one knock, but the trade will come out. No, that is not what I meant to do there. All on Perfectix for Twisted Minds. Klim has been knocked and flushed. Creel looking like he's going to get Bombilovo before finishing off the fight. So try and make this a 2v1 and cement their chances here. Perfectix needs to make this work. Spots Bombilovo, gets the trade out. Klim is knocked and flushed, remember. Grenade coming in from Creel, who's up above. Motic still knocked, but not out of the game, as is Luke. Coming back downstairs. It's a 2v1 now. It's now or never. Excellent flash. Forces Perfectix back. And Creel gets finished off. BBL coming in for the third party. There's absolutely no time to lose. Thenderloss gets knocked at the door. Perfectix is trying to use the time for an insta-revive. He's also managed to get a Molotov out. No, I think that was Batulins from up above buying him the time. Unfortunately, Lou gets finished from elsewhere. That was a really good play from Twisted Minds, but equally good from BBL. Pacific Esports now coming in up top as well. They're moving in from the north into Power Grid. Everyone trying to third party everybody else. And they've actually ended up fighting against BBL with Twisted Minds stuck in the middle. They trade knocks on both sides. Perfectix goes down to ABC, but BBL are now effectively fighting two teams. Ketpet down, but not out. Is anyone else going to come in? Why not make it a party? Zone 3 out as well, although for these guys, we're not worrying too much about that. Heroic might actually move into win or die, but this is the fight to be watching right now. Batulins comes in to try and reclaim a little bit of a lost ground. Thenderloss knocked for the second time, and BBL Esports eliminated. Twisted Minds are kings of Power Grid, or are they? Because Pacific Esports are on their doorstep. To what extent are these guys going to move in? They must have heard what's going on here, right? They're actually disengaging to the north, and I wonder if that's a function of the circle, where they're going, we want the option to be able to rotate out, and we need to clear this area here. I don't know if they can see Heroic. I don't think they can. Not easily, I don't think. There's even a crate. Has that crate been looted? I'm almost certain it has. Yes, it has. This phase 3... pushing one or two teams to San Martin. Win or die. Heroic were next to them before. They've now opted to stay on the east side of Power Grid instead. This might be interesting because Heroic could end up gatekeeping both Pacific and Twisted Minds as they come out of Power Grid. So this is by no means a story that's finished being written yet. On board now with the Wu on the south side. Haven't spoken very much about them today, so let's take a look at what's going on. On board with Quizzy, as Biestoloch is currently knocked in a 1v2 inside this compound with DA. Oh my god, Quizzy, you're disgusting. Insta headshot onto Mert to even the score. If Matralis goes down here as well, it should mean that they are in a very, very comfortable advantage, preventing the knowledge from scouting and chucking an underarm flashbang to keep them at bay. There is another member of DA behind him, but I think Code Marco is some distance away. Waiting for Mitrailius. Very good peeking there. Flashbang coming in. And that's Mitrailius down and out. Biestoloch managing to get revived by his teammate Ibi. Quizzy coming in for the flush. Code Marco now. A little bit in no man's land. The rest of his team are dead. Castanis and BP are going to be third-partying the hell out of this while he's busy looking for Nixie. This is bad. It's going from bad to worse. If Nixie spots him as well, I think he does. And that's it. Nixie gets Code Marco with the spray as he had to move away to get out of line of sight for that frag grenade. They're looking to see, is there another teammate here? But Iroh is nowhere to be found. Phase 4 does go onto Power Grid and immediately north of it. Twisted Mind's happy to stay with the south building. Remember, they've only got 2 of their team alive at the moment, so they're not really in a position to full 4-man push. Castanis wanting to get into a snipe fight with them, which is interesting because in 38 seconds, they're going to have to be moving in. And I think they don't know, because no one's been knocked there yet. They don't 100% know that's Twisted Minds. If they've been keeping an eye on the kill feed and Twisted Minds actually came up on it, I feel like they would know that 2 of their team are dead. This crate is going to be a little bit of a bait because it looks like... Will it slide off the roof, actually? We'll find out. It's an AUG. 2 dark red teams pushing up against each other now. Vashku for Austrian Force going down, and Misa's having to hit the deck to hit on the first aid. Smalltalk and eBay are holding this position. In fact, they've got a decent position to hold. If they can keep Austrian Force out of nade range, they have the high ground advantage here. The problem is they're playing very defensively right now. And Austrian Force know they can't afford to stay there for long. Otherwise, a team like Win or Die, for instance, could come up behind them in third party. So it's in their best interest to finish this fight as quickly as possible. Misa going in for one more. Very, very long grenade there. Smalltalk in the smokes close to him. Get Zoka by what I think is the last bullet in that spray. Silas having a bit more of an idea where they are. Zoka and Misa both down. This is now battle stations. Smalltalk has done so well in this fight, but we need eBay to finish everything off. Will Vashku be able to hold on? This has become a 1v1, and Devison started this with 2 up, remember. Vashku, who was knocked early in this fight, comes over the lip, and eBay gets him. Vashku got the first bullet off, but it doesn't matter. Austrian Force eliminated. Devison are going to be able to take that down. That was a 2v4 to begin with, guys. Very well done. We now have Castanis moving in a little bit too late. Remember we were talking about how long were they going to stay? Shooting on the outside of Power Grid towards Twisted Minds. Well, I think staying there a little bit too long has meant they've been third-partied by everybody and their dog. And that means that Twisted Minds are fine, but Castanis are only down to Marsis because we had Vorpal Swords on one side and the Wu on the other. And they effectively went up against each other. And suddenly Castanis was caught out in no man's land. So we can see what happened there. Heroic very close to Otto's mix team. We've got the Venga bus here. We've got the buggy coming up as well. Need some solid long-range shots. Party Beetle is going to want to move around towards Jeems. I'm hoping T-Bone and Kurexi see him, though. He hasn't actually been shot at yet, which is impressive. Kino's been spotted. In fact, Feynotto's been spotted as well. This is going to give Jeems a little bit more room to breathe. Unfortunately, he's just been knocked, as has Beamy, and Feynotto's going to finish that as well. So there's no more flank available for Heroic. I feel like they have to consolidate now. And I think maybe they spread themselves a little bit too thin. I thought they would comfortably get the first knock from that position. That's a great frag. Did that actually bounce off him? No, it's behind him, which means he's still alive. Oh my god. Flambe, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, it's even the frag grenade that officially gets the knock there. T-Bone is cooked. No other way to put it. Kurexi now the last surviving member of Heroic. As Otto's mixed team comes in for an absolutely delightful round 2. I've just realized He-Man, Kino, Party Beetle, and Feynotto. Otto's not even here. Well, I guess Feynotto is Otto. Why not Feyenoord? Why? Why you do this? I don't know. I don't know. Panathinaikos, aka POW Esports, finishing that fight against the Wu Vorpal Swords, now looking to push in against the top of Power Grid. Now remember, Twisted Minds were on the south side of this and not really moving. They're still there. Nothing's happened. But on the north side, we've got Vorpal Swords now trying to push into the position that Pacific occupied earlier on. Ghetto Gang, Nuclear Penguins, what's happening there? That's on the north side and actually outside of Circle, strictly speaking. Bogart, last surviving member of the Penguins. It looks like it was a ridge-to-ridge fight. That's actually a beautiful frag grenade. Just outside where it would have been absolutely lethal. Zorf and Enino both going down there. Is Blazor the last surviving member of Ghetto Gang as well? He is. Which means win or die. Will be very happy to come in and pick up the pieces. And I think Blazor's recognizing this and choosing to lay low for a little while. Bogart is now going to have to deal with the heat. Win or die is asking, where are the survivors from this fight? No one wants to shout at all that grenade. That grenade! Can you imagine? Bogart now giving Win or Die a little bit of a taste of what it's like to go after leftovers, but not quite get the chicken dinner. Oh my god, this second sprint. Guzyara is amazing as well. Wades finally finishes the fight with a frag grenade, but Wades goes down himself to Blazor. And this is what happens when you third party, but you don't necessarily know the locations of everybody. Suddenly, Ghetto Gang versus Win or Die, it's a 1v1. And they had a full team of 4 at the start of this fight. Leosh, the only surviving member of the team, Guzyara down, extends down. Ghetto Gang up to 8 kills with Blazor on 3, but we saw in the meantime Twisted Minds up to 10 kills. They knew when they had to lay low and play defensive, and it's working out very well for them from a points point of view. Not sure that means they can win this game, but they're certainly maximizing their chances to do just this. Automix being very relaxed on the east side. They know they killed 3 members of Heroic earlier, and I just want to point out, it's interesting in itself that they've chosen not to try and go and finish off the 4th player instantly. They even had Curexi shooting at them at one point, and they're thinking, that's okay, we don't need to collapse in on this, because they are mega wary of the third party that could be happening here. And I could respect that. We've had a lot of third partying this game already, although he has now been spotted. But notice how they didn't pick them off one at a time. It was very slow, very methodical. And I have to say, Anime Mixed Team doing very well indeed. Although Kino not getting the memo to put a capital E in front of his name. So it doesn't spell out anime, strictly speaking. Poor form, guys. Poor form. Leosh does get Blazor on the top there. But Ghetto Gang, they third-partied 4v1v1. They got some kills, but they ended up with only Leosh alive. So that is rough for Win or Die. There is no other way to put it. Batulins and Perfectix continuing to defend Power Grid, just staying as south as possible. They know that as a duo, it's not ideal. Vorpal Swords have made no progress here against Pacific Esports, who are very much still keeping control of the north side of Power Grid. I thought this fight would develop significantly more than it has, and I think part of it is to do with Win or Die. Because if it wasn't for this big fight up top, I feel like there'd be several teams with like DMR snipeable positions against the Vorpal Swords. We haven't really seen very much from them. As a result, it gives Vorpal Swords an opportunity to sort of lay low, thanks to how many teams there were north of them. So it means the dynamics of this game are going to play out a little differently. Devising down to 2. Remember, they had that 2v4 rather epic fight earlier on that Smalltalk and eBay were able to win. They're kind of chilling, going, where is everyone left alive? Well, I mean, a lot of teams died early game here, let's be honest. That made a big difference as well. Batulins did manage to get that drop. Remember the one that we thought, oh, hang on a second, that's dropping on the roof of the warehouse. Is it actually going to slide off and go anywhere? Well, it did slide off. There it is. So he managed to get that and uses that to finish off Panathinaikos or POW Esports. And they're slowly moving to the north side of a Power Grid. Almost perfect donut for the next zone. Phase 7. Just under 1 minute to go until everything has to collapse. In Smalltalk and eBay finding various members of Feinotto's mix team who are in a 2-2 split. That grenade is going to fall short. Wow, I take that back. I thought it was going to fall well short to about there. But that's why these guys are playing, and I'm just talking about it. Fair enough. Third party from Pacific. Not engaging Vorpal Swords, but third partying this is interesting. I guess Vorpal Swords just not really making themselves very publicly visible. Bluffers, to be fair, has an excellent angle in the window. We now have Feinotto moving in very aggressively. eBay has been taken down. We're waiting for Small Talk now. He's inside the smoke on the left side. Party Beetle should be able to see him shortly. And that's it. Small Talk down. I get the feeling that eBay told him where Party Beetle was. He looked at Party Beetle, but Feinotto coming behind. So Otto's mixed team, all 4 players left alive they're in the top 5 teams as well. They're setting themselves up to have a good night, guys. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Vorpal Sword still chilling out. What is going on here? Oh, well, this is going to be an interesting fight. Okay, so Otto Mix versus Twisted Minds here, who have moved out of Power Grid and have decided to sweep east instead. Feinotto's been spotted in addition to Kino. And it doesn't look like they're particularly eager to take on this fight. It looks like they're happy for now to play as a 3 and trade space for time. Feinotto, not 100% sure what the team are choosing. He's continuing to scout, but he's now a little bit split from Party Beetle and He-Man. So if he gets involved in this peak war, which he does, I don't really know what else they can do from here. So that's one half of the team now down to Otto Mix. Vorpal Swords now starting to engage. Hello. Bluffist is on the ground floor, and Pyrie is looking for a way to get a sneaky headshot. Doesn't manage to do so, and Quez actually getting that. Meaning they're down to 2, and Pacific Esports very happy to still be a 4. Looking for Laosh in the smoke. Completely different team. They probably think it's the same guys. That smoke train's not going to be that useful. Win or die eliminated. Vorpal Swords. They've spent so long being on the bottom here. And they need a way in. That could be their way in. M416. Beautiful spray from Razor. E-raises 2 people, but unfortunately that is where it stops. Vorpal Swords now eliminated. Bluffist and Quez will be able to get revived, and Noxy still up, which means Pacific Esports are in as a trio. Twisted Minds somehow with Jesus Christ with 16 kills. They just eliminated the whole of Otto's mixed team, who have had a great game. All 4 of them were alive, and Twisted Minds found a way to separate them, divide and conquer. Kill them off one by one. They're up to 16 kills. Can you say cracked? Perfectix and Batulins competing for the highest number of kills here. 7 and 8 respectively. But Pacific Esports... Well, you know what? Pacific Esports have to get out of their compound. They've got an excellent place to hide, but not an excellent place to run from. And you don't run from Batulins. Not for long, anyway. Bluffist down. It's a 3v2. Now a 2v2. And we've got one member of Pacific Esports, that's Quez, who has actually gone further towards Zone 8. And Noxy is back behind, effectively in the blue. So they're split, and Twisted Minds can play more effectively as a team here, which now puts the ball firmly in their court. Bluffist almost dead. I think Noxy's going to be able to get the revive back. Pacific choosing to play this slowly. Not sure how much more time they have, though. Phase 9 is incoming. Noxy gets a good initial bit of damage onto Batulins. Batulins fancies his chances. Sees Bluffist. Flashbangs out. They're trying to... They're making aggressive overtures here, but they're not actually pushing in. Phase 9 is going to force them in, though. Perfectix. Off on the flank. Does Quez see him? I don't think so. They do now. Perfectix makes his position known. Doesn't get the knock he was maybe looking for. 39 bullets in the magazine. Is it going to be enough? Perfectix trying to re-peek. No! Doesn't get the damage he wants done on Perfectix. Still some damage done. 61 hit points. Good headshot there will help things a lot, but Tulins helps him out an awful lot with a beautiful message saying, guys, he's pushing into you now. Be conservative. That's Bluffist with an absolutely astounding spray, followed up by the frag grenade. Twisted Minds with 19 kills, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes. They win game number 1 in commanding fashion. Very well played to them. 19 kills, extremely top heavy in this lobby, at least to begin with. Pacific Esports in second place with 3 kills, and we've got Alto's mixed team in third with a respectable 6 as well.